You guys heard of Neta Mezcal? Oh man, this stuff is really good. I've been doing some really good mezcals lately with a couple friends of mine, trying some really good ones, and I'm starting to know the difference. And this is what I want you guys to check out coming from Tequila. Neta, these guys are delicious. This was sent to me by one of the three owners, Nikki Nakazawa, okay? And she heard of me from my friend, that's Luis Vieja. And he's in Australia, and Luis and me have been talking for years, and Luis thought that I should get in touch with these people, but they got in touch with me, actually. So they said, we want you to try this Blue Weber Tequilana. We know you're the tequila guy, and we think you're going to like it. And Luis thought that I should try it, and it is really good. It's different, though, I noticed, from Tequila Blue Weber Agave. These are all coming from an area called Lococha, and it's coming from the general area of Mayatwalan, and that's in Oaxaca, okay? So we're going to start, and we're going to talk about these things, and we're going to try to explain them the best we can. So the first one we have here is an Espadin, okay? So it's just a regular Espadin, as far as I could see. It's not an Ensemble. I have one of those later, but this is nice. So I got these, and this one happens to be 47.9 ABV, you know, and it's, really looks good, and it was delicious when I tried it. So this guy's the 2021 Espadin. Comes in at about $99.99 at Astor Wine. I saw it at Old Town for $109.99, okay? So it's coming from that area I mentioned. The Mescalero on this is Ramon Garcia Sanchez, all right? They only made 1,326 bottles. These agaves were grown in rocky red ground, okay? And the ground itself had only been used for corn, beans, and squash for over 20 years. So Ramon purchased the land and the agaves to help fund his wedding. And again, it's coming from the Logochi area, all right, of Oaxaca. So this is the Espadin. Only 1,326 bottles. That's pretty cool. Oh, man, it's nice and fruity right up front. So, you know, this is nice, guys. It's not that much smoke. There is some, but it's citrus for sure, like a lemon zest, which I really like. It's earthy and fruity. It does have a fresh aroma, maybe like a melon. It's minty. It has some oak. It's earthy for sure. Has that on yeast. It's almost nutty and maybe a touch of vanilla. But really, this has got a nice smell. This is really has a nice, fresh, clean smell. On the taste, oh, wow. I'm really digging this mezcal. This is a good mezcal brand. Wow. I've been trying some really good ones, and this is right up there. It's got the sweet agave on this guy right here. Lemon, citrus, once again. It's fruity and melony. It's got oak, and it's herbal. Earthy for sure. This is nice. Got a little bit of smoke, not a lot. This is really, really nice. You know, this brand works with over 20 small producers, all from that same area. So this is the Espadin Capon. Now, Capon. I'm coming from Tequila, so I had to learn about this. Capon is basically a term that's used in mezcal, where when they cut the quiote, the stalk that shoots up when the plant is ready, and basically in tequila, they cut the stalk, the plant is just about ready to die at that point, and then they use it. But in this case, after they cut that quiote, they leave the plant in the ground just sitting there for maybe another year or two. Can you believe that? So it just fills with the sugars. Whatever was left from that quiote just keeps coming down into the piña, into the heart. And over that amount of time, it just gets sweeter and sweeter. It's unbelievable. So the piñas just get saturated with starches and funky flavors. So what happens is those sugars just keep accumulating. They just keep accumulating over all that length of time. And they don't really harvest the plant and use it till they're ready to make the mezcal a long time from that point, you know. So it's this is a practice that was done years and years ago, but not so much anymore. And I learned a lot of this from my friend Zach Klom, who's on YouTube. You should check him out. Knows a lot about mezcal. And Espadin is also called angustifolia, for those that don't know. So again, this guy here is grown in that red rocky soil area where it's hilly, and it's done in a conical pit, which is another word for earthen pit, again, for those that might not know that. And it's cooked for 5 days in the ground with mesquite wood. They crush this. They macerate it with machetes and a shredder, okay? So, we're talking some traditional methods here. And they use 1,200-liter open-air tanks with natural yeast, all right? It's called a Montezuma Cypress Sabino wood still. All right, that's the tank that they use, all right, for the fermentation. It's double distilled in copper pot stills. This was made really well, and I really do like the way it tastes, and I'm telling you, this is delicious. I really like this. Now, this guy here, this is an Ensemble, okay? So it's a combination of different kinds of maguey, all right? That's what this is. So that's the overall name of agaves. They're maguey. So these guys, I'll explain how this works. It's a 46.1 ABV. It's the 2012 Ensemble. It goes for about $200. This is Wild Biquiche, okay, with Espadin. So it's a blend. That's two different types of maguey right there, all right? The Mezcaleros, Candido, Garcia Cruz. And again, they made only 264 bottles of this. 264 bottles. That's pretty cool. That's hardly anything. My goodness. So, no, it's worth the price. That's what you have to pay for, is the rarity of it. Again, it's planted in that rocky red earth area, okay? It also is an earthen pit. They use mesquite wood. It's ox-drawn with bulls to crush this, to macerate it with a stone tahona. You imagine that, okay? It's open-air fermentation with native yeast in two 1,200-liter Montezuma Cypress Sabino wood tanks. Double distilled in copper pot still. And this Ensemble is cooked, fermented, and distilled all together. So it's no cold blending. It's all done together, which is pretty cool, I have to say. So on this guy, it's a little calmer, but it's got like a celery. It's different. It's a different nose altogether. Ooh, yes, but a lot less smoke, in my opinion. It's fruitier, almost like a peach with the celery. It's pepper and sweet, mint and fruity. This got a really nice nose. And, by the way, Biquiche is also in that family of Kawinski, which is a famous, maguey that lots of people love. They love Kawinski. Got a really nice nose. My goodness, only 264 bottles. I can't believe it. On taste, so different from this guy. The smoke pops up in the end, but it's nice. It doesn't overpower. It's got pepper. It's salty like saline. It's sweet and minty. This is really nice. I get that fruit, almost like a peach. Wow, I really like it. I really like it. Hard for me to pick a winner. Now we're going to move on to the one that might interest you. This is the Tequilana. This is Blue Weber Tequilana. Just like we love in tequila, guys, all right? This is 46.4 ABV. And this is also a Capon. So again, they cut the stalk. They let the quiote fall. They leave the plant in the ground for a long time. They just let those sugars just keep coming down and concentrating. And in my opinion, this is what I noticed now. This is what makes this different from the Blue Weber agaves in tequila that I've tried. I think because of that saturation of sugar over all that amount of time that just keeps coming down into the bulb, it's a much sweeter, like peachy. I'm getting a lot of that, which I don't get so much in the Blue Weber agave normally in tequila. This is different, and again, I'm attributing a lot of that to the fact that all those extra sugars are coming down. But Nikki was telling me there's lots of other reasons why that can happen as well. And, a lot of these are grown from seed, by the way. They don't mess around here. And I still think that Capon really adds more depth and flavors and almost a funkiness. And I get that with the peach and stuff when I do this. And she made a good point of saying a lot of this was, grown from seed, also mixed in and blended with clones. But, like she said in Jalisco, the Blue Weber, let's all remember, is basically all clones. So, they're all going to taste similar, if you know what I mean. This is a little different, okay? So it's grown on that land. It's got a lot of fruit trees and floral and everything else around. And after over that amount of time, it picks up a different kind of flavor, even though it's the same type of plant. And the Mescalero on this is Wilfredo Ramon Garcia. This one has very little smoke. I have to tell you, it has almost no smoke on this. So, you guys coming from tequila that want to try another Blue Weber, but done this way, which is pretty cool and a lot fruitier, you want to definitely try this. You definitely want to try this. I think it's really, really good. It would be a good place for you guys to check out. and only 414 bottles of this was made. That's unbelievable. And it goes for about $179.99. Astor Wine in New York City. It's the 2021. And this brand is imported by PM Spirits, which makes one of my favorite tequilas as well. So you know what, guys? All great. Delicious. I'm glad I got the opportunity to try Neta. It's a great brand. This is a really good mezcal brand, fellas. I really think that you guys that are getting into mezcal, or even ones that have been in a while, this is a good quality brand. This is Lou Agave from Long Island Lou Tequila. I really like this brand. I think you should check out Neta.